As I have toured the internet, looking around, and you will find a lot of videos that are done by homebrew people, for lack of a better term. And one of the issues I see a large number of times is, for some reason, there is a fascination about the necessity to run layers of tape across the left-hand side of the lower. And as I have looked and watched, the only way that this makes any sense to me is people are putting this roll pin in incorrectly. And they're not only putting it in incorrectly and spending all this time taping the left side of the receiver. It is just not necessary. One of the biggest mistakes I see people doing is they try to put this rolled pin in from the front. And there's no way you're going to put it in from the front without dinging your lower, because they're not meant to go in from the front. They're meant to go in from the back. Now, in my sojourn, I have come across issues where I have had tools made for a particular purpose, because sometimes you need 3 hands, sometimes there just isn't the correct tool available. So on more than one occasion I have had a tool made. Now this particular form is an assembly jig for an AR-15 lower. It will go in either side depending on what you want to have done. It is not to be confused with a jig for an 80% lower. I do not do 80% lowers. You get into legal limitations, which I am required to retain from, and I have seen more than on one occasion a customer call me up that they've put a hole in the wrong place, and I said, well, you now have a $90 paperweight, but be that as it may, people still want to do it. But what I do to put this last roll pin, the magazine, or the bolt release, is I'll put a little drop of oil on the hole. I will put in the detint spring. I will put in the detint. And lastly, I will put in the detint lever. Now, there are a lot of different ways people can do this, but what I do is I take this punch, which you will notice is offset, for the simple reason that this pin needs to be offset because the hole is offset. Now, the requirement with one of these punches is they are made out of aluminum, and you must use a rubber or a plastic hammer to use it, or you'll smash the nipple and make it half useful. So I will tap the roll pin down. I will put in bolt release. And some people prefer to tap it down. Some people prefer to put tape over it. It's really a matter of whatever your personal preference is or what works for you. So I turn the roll pin around where the nipple side is up, align the nipple side into the roll pin, taking the rubber end of my mallet and continue to hammer your roll pin into its proper place. There. Now you will see a finished mag release, no dents, no scrapes, and no tape.